Dig and dig and dig. All we get force blisters on the hands.
Gus, I'm coming up.
Yeah, that means today I go down. Come ahead.
Gus, come here.
Hey, golly, that's kind of damp, all right.
Damp? It's wet. Gus, we're over water.
Yeah, we better be. We only got 3 days' supply left.
Don't remind me of that. The other ranchers around here are lucky enough to be directly over water.
By golly, Captain, how you figure out where to dig? It beats me.
Well, years ago, water ran along this draw. And then it disappeared. But the springs that fed it have got to be around here someplace. It just makes sense we have to dig here in this dry riverbed.
Yeah, well, the way this looks, I figure 2 or 3 more days hard work and we'll have it.
How do those blisters feel now?
Little cold spring water make them blisters feel just fine. Come on.
Howdy, ma'am.
Hello.
Is Mr. McLaughlin home?
Not at the moment.
Sure is a hot one today.
I wish I could offer your horses a drink, but we're on water rations. Our well went dry.
That's all right, ma'am. They don't really need it. My name is Shaganow. I'm a horse trader. They told me in town to see Mr. McLaughlin.
Hi, Mom. Boy, what a horse. I never saw one like him before.
He's a rare Mongolian. Come all the way from the deserts of China.
Gee.
Flicka seems to have made a new friend.
They're kindred spirits, ma'am. Both quality. They go together just like ham and eggs.
You going to sell him, sir?
Yep. Kind of hate to lose him, though. I'll never find another like him. I'll have to get a right good price.
Mr. McLaughlin is not interested in horses right now.
Well, then I guess I'd better get moving. I got a few more places to stop.
Here comes Dad now. I'm sure glad you got here, Dad. This man here is a horse trader, and he's got the most wonderful horse.
I've got something even more wonderful. I hit wet sand.
Oh, that's great! Yippee!
Wonderful.
Oh.
Where? When?
Like I figured. I probed up and down that old dry riverbed until I finally... Hey. He is some horse.
He wants to sell him. And Flicka likes him, too.
I suppose Flicka's got the price. What's the story on it?
It's a 4-year-old, solid as a log, Mongolian. The breed dates back to the time the Tartars rode over the Gobi Desert.
Tartar. That would make a good name for him.
That's what I call him, son.
How'd you come by him?
He was bought in China by a rich rancher from Reno. Died on the boat coming back. Some strange fever. Anyhow, I bought the horse at an estate auction.
By golly, Captain, this is real horse flesh. Could breed a fine new strain.
Yeah. That's an odd-looking marking. Never saw one quite like that before.
Me neither. Looks like an old Chinese war mask.
Why don't you stay to supper? No man should do business on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
Excuse me?
I don't mind saying it was your wife's cooking that softened me up. I'm a sucker when I chomp into cooked stove food.
Thank you, Mr. Shagino.
Oh, it was good. There you are, Mr. McLaughlin. Legal bill of sale. And you're a real lucky man to have him.
I don't take much stock in luck, Mr. Shagino. For good or bad, a man blazes his own trail.
Well, I'd best be on my way. He ain't gonna like being penned up. Kind of freedom-loving.
He'll get along all right. He and Flicka seem to hit it off.
Uh-huh.
Good morning, Wong.
Hello, Mrs. McLaughlin.
I'll have a bunch of bananas and half a dozen oranges.
Hey, golly. There's Mr. Vaughn. I'll bet he get a big kick to see horse from his own country. Hey, Vaughn!
Hello, Mr. Gus. One moment, please. Please excuse me.
All right, Vaughn.
Hello, Mr. Vaughn.
Hello, Mr. Gus.
Here is a fine new horse that Kenny's father just bought, and he comes from your country.
My country?
Yeah, yeah.
Ay, these are Martin, Homa. That means good horse. This is a noble animal. Makes me very proud.
What's the matter, Mr. Wong?
Must go now. Much work to do.
Wait! What made you so scared when you looked at Tartar's face? Please tell us, Mr. Wong.
Yeah, go ahead. You should tell us.
Many years ago in my village of Yangtze, there was a breed of horse with these same markings on his face. It means evil comes to him who owns me. That's all I can tell you.
Evil comes to him who owns me. Oh, I bet Mr. Wong was just trying to scare me.
Oh, dear. Grandmother's best china. I can't replace it.
Well, accidents happen.
It wasn't an accident. It was Tartar.
Tartar, what are you talking about?
When Mr. Wong was over here, he got real scared when he saw Tartar's markings. He said it means evil comes to him who owns me.
You mustn't believe that. My breaking the china had nothing to do with Tartar.
I'm going to have some things to say to Mr. Wong, filling your head with superstitious nonsense.
That you, Rob? Rob, something's wrong.
It sure is. I just hit rock. Solid rock.
That's terrible. I thought you were so close to water.
I thought so too, now.
Hey, I just heard some bad news in town, Captain.
You heard bad news. Wait till you hear mine. I hit hard pan.
Oh, my. Looks like we run into a whole spell of bad luck.
Luck's got nothing to do with it.
Rob, you've just got to find water somehow. We're almost out.
We were getting along pretty good until that horse came here.
You don't believe that story about Tartar's markings.
Well, just adds up, that's all.
Gus, what are you talking about?
When what I start to say when I come in. There was a bad accident on that narrow piece of road by Beaver Creek. Shaganaw's wagon overturned. He's dead.
Well, I feel very sorry for him, but that horse had nothing to do with it.
I don't know. Back in the old country, people pay a lot more mind to stories like that.
Let's leave those stories back in the old countries where they belong, Gus.
It's real awful about Mr. Shaganaw. He was a real nice man.
Yeah. Your father does not believe these things because he has not seen them like I have.
What things, Gus?
Well, once, back home in my village, there was a big spruce tree. And whenever the moon made the shadow from that tree fall across the graveyard, somebody died. Finally, they just have to cut it down.
And people still died, didn't they?
Well, yeah, sure.
I want to talk to you, Gus. Ken, go on and do your homework.
Yes, sir.
Well, I was just telling him about the spruce tree.
I heard it. Now listen to me, Gus. I've told you before, and I'm telling you again now. I don't want to hear any more of that kind of nonsense, especially around Ken.
Oh, I was just talking to the boy.
Yes, but it's what you were saying.
Yeah. If I'm not good enough to talk to your son, maybe I'm not good enough to stay around here no more.
Oh, Gus, come on, stop it.
Looks like I'm not wanted here unless I say only what you want.
No, I didn't say that. I just don't want you filling the boy's head with any more of that nonsense.
All right. You're the boss. I won't talk about no spruce trees no more.
Rob, you shouldn't talk to Gus like that.
Well, I've got my hands full around here trying to find water.
He has a right to his own beliefs.
Maybe so. But I'm tired of hearing that horse blamed for everything that happens around here just because of his marking.
Hey, golly, he got away.
Mr. Shaganaw said he wouldn't like to be fenced in.
Maybe it's a good thing he's gone.
I'm going after him in the morning.
Rob! It's Tom Burke and Noel Johnson with Tartar.
Look, Gus! Tartar's back.
Hello, Burke. Johnson?
Yeah. We found your Mongolian last night, Rob, at our ranch. Reckon you want him back.
Yes, of course I do. Thanks. You saved me a lot of trouble.
You know where we found him? In our chicken yard. Broke down 2 fences, the gate, 1 wall to the chicken house, and scrambled 4 crates of eggs.
$20 damage. We need the money.
$20?
Well, how can you be sure he did it? Could have been the cattle.
We didn't find the cattle in the yard. We found him.
Well, it's still circumstantial, Johnson.
Well, the horse doesn't do things like that.
That horse could.
Well, it hits me hard right at this time, Burke. I need every dollar I can muster to sink in that well.
Well, I feel for you, but the damage is done.
I hate to say this to you, Rob, but I don't think you stand a chance of finding water where you're looking. I think you're wasting your time.
It's my time. I'll have to take my own chances.
That horse is just no good. Everyone knows he's a jinx.
Well, that's something else I'll have to take my chances on.
News travels fast around here.
I'm afraid you'll have to wait for your money.
Oh, how long?
Well, can't say. Not too long, I hope.
Well, do the best you can, Rob. We aren't going to keep you any longer.
Come here, Bill.
It's too bad that happened, boss.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy blaming this horse for everything that happens around here.
All right. I will take him to corral.
What do you think, Flicka? You ought to know. Is Tartar really bad luck? He sure caused us a lot of trouble, Flicka. But you like him. So I guess he isn't all bad.
Well, here goes. Gus, bucket.
Yeah. It's water! I didn't think we'd do it, not with all the bad luck we've been having, by golly. All right, Captain, you've in. I quit.
Oh, no, thanks. I'm about stuff now.
I'll take this.
You know, this is the best shindig I've seen since they built the new undertaking parlor. What's the occasion, Rob?
Well, you'll find out soon enough, Johnson.
Must have struck it rich sunlight. What'd you do, Rob? Find gold?
Yep. Flowing gold.
Huh?
Now, quiet, everybody, quiet. Now, I suppose you're all anxious to find out the reason for this party.
Well, I figured you must have sold that Mongolian. Or else this is him we're eating.
Nope, wrong as usual, Burke. The fact is, I called all my friends together because I knew you'd want to help me celebrate my new well.
You mean you really brought in that new well?
Burke, you're slipping. You're right this time.
That I gotta see.
You will.
You know, with all the tough luck you've been having, I just didn't think you'd make it.
I don't believe in tough luck, Johnson. Now, come on, man, and I'll show you.
Can I go?
Sure, you can lead the parade.
Yeah, nice party.
It's dry. It's all dried up. I've got to stop Dad. Dad! Dad! Stop!
Hope you're all plenty thirsty.
Dad, don't go there.
Well, why not? We want to get a drink.
Don't! Please, Dad, there's no water. There's no water. It's all dried up. What happened, Dad? It was there yesterday.
It's just like the Lost River all over again. Disappear. Just like that.
What are we going to do now?
Well, I guess you got the last laugh on me.
No man laughs at a friend's troubles. You can move all your livestock over to my place. I'll water them till you bring in a new well.
Thanks, Johnson. I'll find some way to repay you.
Too bad, Rob. Too darn bad. Blamed if I don't believe now that jinx Mongolian horse is behind all this.
do it.
I've thought it all over and I've made up my mind. I'm going to let him go.
Don't you realize what you're doing to Ken? If you give in to this superstition, he'll believe it too.
Well, maybe he should know that hard work and honest effort aren't enough. Sometimes there are forces you can't control.
You don't believe that.
Come on. Get out of there. Go back to your ancestors. Go on. Get out.
Flicka must like that Tartar to run off with him the way she did. They've got to be somewhere around here.
I can't figure out, Captain, why they would come by here.
Well, one thing's sure, they did. Tracks are clearer here. They must have headed for the Badlands.
The Badlands?
Nothing that Mongol does is natural.
Let's hurry. No telling where you'll lead Flicka. Come on, Flicka.
Oh! Look, Captain. They did not head for the Badlands.
Yeah, they must have circled back toward the ranch.
Yeah. By golly, the Mongol found water. That must be the Lost River.
How do you like that? Within walking distance where we were digging.
How did he know where to dig?
Must have been instinct. His ancestors lived on the Gobi Desert. There's a downhill slope here. We can pipe water right down to the ranch by gravity flow. There's plenty here for pasture land, too. Ken, you ready?
We're ready, Dad.
Oh.
What about Tartar? Aren't we taking him back?
No, he doesn't like being fenced in. He'll be happier running free.
Wait a minute, Dad. Don't worry, Tartar. Flicka and I will always remember you. We'll come back and see you sometime, too.
You know, Captain, it's a funny thing, but they would say you were letting him run free because he's bad luck.
Now, don't be ridiculous. You know I'm not superstitious.